Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tapati ma'am.
Yeah, good afternoon, dear.
On behalf of my entire team, I welcome you all to this 44th session of Leadership Talk. We're very honored, with the presence of kind of speakers we have today. So we still have 1 or 2 more minutes before we formally begin the session. Right, before I formally begin the session with the introduction of our speakers, I would like to formally share the background of these this series called Leadership Talk. In fact, when the MHRD a few years back, shared the document, draft document of NEP, even then we had gone to different cities. We had interacted with many education leaders. Collectively we shared hundreds of sessions with the MHRD, CBSE, and other stakeholders. And when this final policy came out in the last week of July, since then we have spoken with hundreds of education leaders and other stakeholders, and we have found that at one side this policy has certainly raised enthusiasm and positivity among different stakeholders. But at the same time, many people are they have their apprehensions about the execution of such important policies. A lot of people have raised and suggested many ideas and thoughts how we can successfully implement this policy. So then we realized that we must invite eminent leaders like today's speakers to a platform, and we must take their perspective, we must take their thoughts, and we must share those thoughts with the Ministry of Education, other people. With that thought, we launched our first session on August 26th, and I'm very proud to share that so far, this is the 44th session, and during our last 43 sessions, we have received a wonderful response. We have. I'm going to share that detail with you as well. Right. So once again, welcome all the speakers, all the participants, Tapati ma'am, Rajee ma'am, Bhawana, Malik ma'am, Levi, Maheo ji, and Nidhi Chawla ji for joining us as a speaker in this 44th session. And this is the last session before Diwali. And, we'll resume this series post Diwali now. Right. So please allow me to introduce our speakers for this session. I'll share my screen here. I hope my screen is visible to all.
Yes, yes.
Right. Thank you, ma'am. As you all know that this leadership talk series is being organized by India International Education Council and School Lalaji Solutions. India International Education Council is a not-for-profit organization which is working in the field of education. It has collaborators from 12 countries. Uh, India International Education Council aims to create a better world through education. It also aims to build quality centers for elementary education, which are approachable for all kids. It also tries to find best educational practices across the globe and find ways to implement those in Indian institutions. It also tries to create more awareness on hygiene and learning disabilities. Uh, IIC publishes a magazine called World Education Review and many other education. It aims to build 100 chapters in different cities by 2022. It will soon open its membership for institutions and individuals. It also imparts training to leaders, teachers, students, and parents. As I shared in the beginning, that this is a 44 session, and so far we have organized 43 sessions. In these 43 sessions, we have received 4,670 registrations. We have received 4,132 questions, and from 5 countries: India, US, Qatar, UAE, and Nepal. We have seen participation from 19 states of India and 74 cities. We aim to organize 200 sessions. We would be reaching out to 100,000 plus educators, 20,000 plus institutions, and 1,000 plus eminent speakers like today's speakers would be joining us to share their perspective. Now, I would request all of you, please join me in welcoming our speakers for this session. Our first key speaker for today, Tapti Chatterjee ma'am. Tapti ma'am needs no introduction. She is an institution herself. She is an executive director with Modern Public School, Bhiwadi. The group has other branches in other parts of the country. She has a distinguished academic career with experience of many decades. She has been awarded and recognized for her contribution to the field of education. We are truly honored with your presence, Tapti ma'am. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Our
Thank you.
next key speaker for today, Dr. Bhavna Malik ji. Dr. Bhavna is principal with Lovely Public Senior Secondary School, Priyadarshini Vihar, Delhi. She has 28 years of experience as an educationist. She is the vice president of the Hindustan Scouts and Guides. She is also a member with the CBSE affiliation team. She is an active contributor to literary journals in Hindi, English, and Punjabi. She has authored a set of 10 books for pre-primary, primary, and middle classes. She has received many awards for her contribution, like the GBF Women Excellence Award 2018, Basically Advanced School of the Year by National School Award, State Teacher Award by Directorate of Education, Delhi, India's Best Standalone Senior Secondary School Award by GTF Education Summit, Best Principal of the Year Award by GTF Education Summit, 100 Highly Effective Principals of 2017 by Alert Knowledge Service, International School Award by British Council of India. We welcome you, Bhavna ma'am. Thank you for joining. Our next key speaker today, Dr. Rajee and Kumar ji. Rajee ma'am is the founder principal with NK Bagrodia Public School, Dwarka, Delhi. She is an innovative educationist with over 35 years of experience. Her school stands amongst the top 100 or top 10 schools of Delhi and NCR as per Times of India. She is a doctor in botany, specialized in microbiology, biotechnology, and gold medalist alumni in MPhil of Delhi University. She's an academician par excellence with more than 11 years of research experience and 30 publications in national and international journals to her career. She has explored curriculum and pedagogy through educational exchange programs with European countries like France and Denmark. Her school was awarded International School Award 2012 to 15 under her able leadership and re-accredited twice for the period of 2015 to 2018 and 2018 to 2021 by British Council. She has received many awards like State Award by Delhi Government 2000, National Educator Award 2018, Guru Drona Award 2018, Women Achievers Award 2019, and Inspiring Educators Award, among many other prestigious awards. So we welcome you, Raji ma'am. Thank you for joining.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Our next key speaker for the day is Mr. Nidhi Chawla. Nidhi ji is assistant professor with SRM University, Sonipat, Haryana. She received her MTech degree in computer science engineering from Deenbandhu Choturam University. Prior to SRM University, she also worked with GCRC University, Jaipur. She has more than 6 years of teaching experience in various institutions. She has attended many international and national conferences, seminars, and participated in FDP from ENICT, etc. She has published more than 6 papers in international journals. Her area of interest include deep learning, machine learning, data mining, and data analytics. She is also a certified trainer on associate analytics approved by NASCOM and NSDC. Apart from teaching, she has been handling various responsibilities at SRM University, such as internship coordinator for MHRD Innovation Cell, NASCOM Future Skills Platform Coordinator, and NPTEL SPOC, single
हाँ
point of
कि मैम
contact.
मैं सुपर सिक्स पे देखूँ लिंक भेजा मैम सुपर सिक्स पे देखूँ हाँ
Thank
जी
you so much,
लिंक है
sir,
सुपर
for introducing me. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, welcome, Nidhi ji. Thank you for joining. And last key speaker for the day, Mr. Levi Maheo. Levi is the assistant manager with Furtados School of Music. Furtados School of Music is India's largest music educator. It is a brand which is synonym to music in our country. It has a 150 year old rich legacy. This is working with 200 plus leading schools of India. Furtados has trained over 1 lakh students across country. It has many renowned titles like Bandit, which is India's largest school level music competition to promote music talents across all schools. Other titles like piano concert, cadence workshops, high jump training, FSM exams, incentive recital, FSM recital. It has partnerships with renowned institutions like Berkeley College of Music and NMIMS School of Performing Arts. We welcome you, Levi. Thank you for joining.
Thank you
Now,
so much for the
welcome. Now, time to formally begin the session. We have already shared the flow for the session with all of you. We'll start with the opening remarks from our speakers for 1 minute. And, in second part, we would request all the speakers to share their main talk on their chosen topic. That would be for 8 to 10 minutes. And then we have received many questions for this session, from different participants and, other school leaders across country. So I would be presenting those questions to all the speakers. I would request all the speakers to share their perspective and thought on those questions. Right. So I would request Tapati ma'am, if we can start with you, if we can have your 1 minute opening remark.
Okay. Good afternoon to one and all present here today. At the onset, I'd like to thank India International Education Council to set up this platform of discussion on education. Undoubtedly, this is a fundamental requirement for tomorrow's Atmanirbhar Bharat. Over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Certainly, we need to work in a collaborative way to achieve that Atmanirbhar Bharat dream. Now, I would request Bhavna, ma'am, if you can have your opening remark.
Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you are audible, ma'am.
Okay. Very good afternoon to one and all. And I'm Dr. Bhavana Malik from Lovely Public Senior Secondary School, Priyadarshini Vihar. I would like to say my thanks to the organizers of the program for giving me this platform. To share this platform with so many distinguished speakers, you have given me the chance. My thank you to Indian International Council, and it was happy to know that your 44th session, and before the Diwali, and we look forward to have many more sessions post Diwali also. Um, I quickly would like to say one thing, that the topic which I have chosen, NEP 2020, and that too about the early education, early childhood education, is really a vast topic, which for me will not be able to complete in 10 minutes. But sure, I would give try to give my best what I have understood, because analyzing the things is so early. Thank you so much. I think I have taken more than 1 minute. For sorry, sorry.
Right. Thank you, Bhavna ji. I would request Raji ma'am, we can have your opening remark.
Thank you so much. I'm thankful to the organizers of this session, especially Rajul Pratap Singh, who has given me the opportunity to be a speaker. The NEP 2020 is a document which we are all gone through, and we are being training our students and teachers on a daily basis because so many webinars are happening, and I'm sure all the speakers will agree with me now. This is the this is the famous saying that this is the talking, this is the talk of the town. Everyone is talking about it. But how are we going to implement it? That is the biggest challenge. The challenge we have to face, and I'm sure as school leader, as I'm heading the school for the last 19 years, and I'm the principal of NK Bagrodia Public School Sector for Dwarka. I'm so proud to say that we are ready to face the challenge. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Certainly, we need to, in a collaborative way, need to face we need to be ready to face the challenge together. Thank you, Raji ma'am. I would request Nidhi ma'am if we can have your opening remark.
Yeah, my voice is audible, sir.
Yes, your voice is audible.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nidhi Chawla, Assistant Professor from SRM University. First of all, thank you so much, sir, for introducing me. And I think it is the great initiative which is taken by School Lalaji and Indian International Education Council for organizing a leadership talk on decoding the National Education Policy 2020. So today I'm going to do a presentation on how SRM University has adopted Education 4.0 and National Education Policy in terms of technology. So I hope you will get more insight on how SRM University is trying to become global reputed university so that we can make our India a supernatural hub. So over to you, sir. And I will present my presentation. So please give me the chance whenever my turn will come. Okay, thank
Right.
you.
Thank you, Nidhi ji. I would request Levi if we can have your opening remark.
Sure. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Levi from FSM. We are thrilled to see the inclusion of vocational studies in the ENP 2020. We think it's a gain step towards the holistic development of child. And inclusion of vocational courses into the mainstream education system will encourage children to think creatively and gain new experiences, both of which played an important role in a child development. And vocational courses always aim to enable the child to learn ways to channelize their stress, anxiety, and help nurture the strong sense of self. So the most amazing part of this initiative is the integration of arts and music with mainstream academics, which ensure that every child can experience this as part of their today and learning something that most countries followed for many decades now. So we are glad that all children will now have the opportunity to reap the benefit of vocational courses, and that equip them with life skills and vigorously like contributes to their holistic development. And I will also be speaking in a later part. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Levi. Now, I would request, all the speakers to present their main, to share their main topic, right? So we would request Tapti ma'am. Ma'am, this policy, during our last many sessions, we received this very common thought from participants that for the first time, government of India has recognized, early child education formally. Though we all believed for many decades and for always that this is the most important years in a student's life, the early years. But this is for the first time when government has institutionalized you know many recommendations, and they have provided a guidance, how we should go about it. So I would request, you are an institution, you have decades of experience, you saw the execution of last policy, you also saw where actually we lagged during the execution of last policy. You are a master trainer, for you have created a lot of leaders across country. So your perspective is going to be very important for all of us. Over to you, Tapti ma'am. You are on mute, ma'am. Tapti ma'am, you are on mute.
Okay, thanks, dear. And okay, I heard you. One thing I'd like to tell you a little bit before starting this one, I'd like to say that our first education policy came on 1968. After that, 1986. And after that, 1992. And 2005, there was a little bit amendment on that. And after that, the new NEP on 2020. But if you ask me about early years, I know now people are talking and lot of things, lot of discussion is going on about this early childhood education. But if you ask me, 1995, I was the first headmistress of DPS Vasundhara, and in 1995 we have already started that early childhood education that is called ECE. Now they have added one ECCE. And for that early childhood education, of course, I'd like to say here that we used to go to IIT Delhi. In fact, that time Dr. Vinita Kaul used to take care of this early childhood education care, and she used to train us. And if you ask me, that we all have taken the training from Dr. Vinita Kaul, because we want to introduce that early years education in the school on the same year. So from 1995, at that time, definitely I was a headmistress of DPS Vasundhara. We have started there. Now in modern public school, this year I have completed 30 years with the same management, in the same school, in a different post. Okay, and everywhere we have started this early childhood education care. Now, of course, the government has given a lot of things, that the age group for admission, and after that we all have to take care of few things. But always for early years, always we have to keep in our mind that five things, that five components of early years. That is language development, cognitive, motor development, social emotional, and aesthetic appreciation. And if you ask me, in the NEP, it is written clearly that activity, skill based, and all these things. And of course, this time it should be a project based learning. I know that 8 to 10 minutes is a very less time for early years, but then as a leader, we all should learn how to manage time also. Okay, so definitely, so that's why I'd like to say that whatever it is written as a theoretical in the paper, I really don't know, some sound is.
Yeah, this is kind of an echo, ma'am.
Okay.
Are you using two devices?
No. No, somebody must have, I think no, I'm not using two devices,
Yeah,
only
yeah.
one.
I would request all the participants, if you can mute yourself. Yeah, ma'am, it is fine now.
Okay, it's fine now. Yeah. So now objective as a new policy, what they are saying about now in NEP. Every child in the age group of 3 to 6 years to get free, safe, high quality, developmentally appropriate care and education by 2025. Now the NEP is saying, and if you ask me, these early years we have started, I not say that we have started. I know most of the school, they are quite aware about these early years. Now, at least I have seen from 2000 after 5, most of the school they are taking care of. Of course, few policy means there is coming age group that we all have to take care, and early childhood care national challenges with global perspectives setting the stage. India will have highest population of young people in the world in next decade, but we are not providing high quality educational opportunities to them for tomorrow's world. So years of survey indicates that in India, more than 5 crore students in elementary school does not have basic ability to read, write, and perform operations with numbers. So again, NEP is talking about literacy and numeracy. And I'd like to share here that 2003, I went to Australia for this exchange program. And of course, that time only I have gone there, and my project was literacy and numeracy. So the same thing in NEP now they have introduced. Over 85% of the brain development happen before the age of 6 to 7 years. So it is most important to help the child at this stage are in a healthy brain development and growth. Most of the child are not ready for smooth entry in grade 1, speaking of language and on mathematical ideas and thinking. So here, of course, we need to take care, and early years in NEP is talking about that. Now, the problem I have seen that most of the time the teachers, if teachers are not trained for this, then of course there is a lot of problem they are facing, because again we are switch over immediately to the rote learning. And believe me, repeatedly I'm talking to everybody, the children are not coming to us for ABCD or 1 to 100. That they can do it at home and anywhere. So we need a lot of teachers training for this. Though I believe that every school is going for a lot of teachers training, but now we have to go for a specific teachers training. There should be a different kind of a teachers training to handle the early years. Now the objective of EC is that every child in the age group. Just now I have discussed that in this level, that's why reading and writing is very important. And all the schools should take care that pre-reading and pre-writing. Because most of the time we switch over directly in class 1. I have seen that they are doing cursive handwriting, and children are facing a lot of problems because we never gone for a pre-reading or pre-writing concept. So in this age, the concept is very important, and we all have to take care there. This is my observation about the early years. And another thing, I think in NEP, I have seen that they have written that maybe now we are going to use mother tongue in this level. I'd like to go back in 1995 again, or no, sorry, not 1995, 1990. I was doing my Montessori course in Kolkata, and that is called London Montessori. And you know, that time only, when I was doing my Montessori course, repeatedly they are saying when the child is coming to school, initial age, please, you all should speak them their own language. In Kolkata, no problem, because most of the teachers are speaking in Bengali and the children are also in Bengali. But when I came here in Delhi, nearby, I have seen when these South people are coming, initially they all are talking little bit words about South Indian, Punjabi and all these things. And that time, I ask all the teachers that at least 2-3 words you learn from a different language. So then only we can make a friendship with the children. So this NEP, believe me, it's very close to my heart. And when I have seen the NEP, I'm very happy. I know the people are talking a lot of problem, how we are going to implement. But in early years, I know it can easily implement it, because we all are here for children welfare. Our main cause is also child. As a teacher, our main cause is the child and the parents also. So if we join and together, because you know, we have to train the parents also. Because most of the time they are complaining, उस स्कूल में तो बच्चे लिखना शुरू कर दिया ना, अभी भी आप डांस म्यूजिक में ही है. So we have to, because as a teacher also, when I was taking my BA training, I came to know that as a teacher, we should train the society also. That's our foremost task. So first we have to train the parents also. Why early years is very important, and of course science has also proved that every development happen 6 to 7 years only. And I'd like to say that, of course, just now Ruzul said that we have a group of school, one in Noida, one in fact, Bhiwadi too. And last 6 years before, we have made a separate school for only 7 years. And I have a request in this. Anybody wants to come and visit the school, most welcome. The building, we made it as a Bala, building as aided learning. No AC, and everywhere the child can go and speak. We have an open amphitheater, we have an open puppetry show, anything. The child is so much free to explore here and there. When the children are in the same building for the senior school, then most of the time we cannot take care of them, because the senior are also playing in the ground and the junior is also doing. So I have a request. In fact, Ruzul also, that why don't you come sometimes and see the school? And NDTV has given us the best award. See, I'm not believing all award and all these things. That of course, maybe. Sorry, you all got a lot of awards. Definitely, I also got a lot of award, but that's not. But I really want to show everybody that it was 6 years before only we have separated that main school to that school, to keep in mind, to early 7 years. So I think my 7 8 minutes is almost all, because I should know, and everybody said that I always be on time, because 8 minutes we cannot discuss early years. But again, I'm coming back that to keep in our mind this NEP. I say that there is a lot of hazard maybe in a secondary, senior secondary, but then NEP, the way they have described the early years, I'm giving 100% guarantee that we all are going to implement that. You won't face any problem. Thank you so much. I believe I am on my time.
Yes, yes, you are absolutely, as right. Always, you always have been on time now.
So,
Right.
Ma'am,
so
we would love to have your ma'am. We would love to have your school name and your
yeah,
contact
I
details.
really, if you want, actually, see, this time I'd like to say that, though I have not sent any pics or any write up to Ruzul, Ruzul has made it from somewhere, my pics, my write up. Ruzul, can you share? Yeah,
Sure, sure, sure. We'll
modern
do that. We'll do that. Ms. Sarkar,
please
uh,
come. I really calling all of you now, a little bit lockdown. So in the meantime, we'll keep up the social distancing, and please come and see the school.
No, even if you don't come, we will love to collaborate with you because you are a
Please.
great positive energy. So I
Oh,
think that should be spread across. I think that is very much required. Okay, so
okay, thank you.
I would request you to share it on the chat box so that we can all
Okay.
have your contact
Address.
numbers.
I'm giving my address and phone number. If you want, I'll send you the video of the building.
Okay, thank
Bala
you,
building.
thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Excellent,
Thank you.
excellent.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. We'll keep in touch, because this way, I mean, and thanks to Ruzur, because I believe me, he's behind me from the last 1 month. So thanks, thanks, dear.
And
Because
let me also say that I would want you to spread this goodness among the community of teachers that I am dealing
oh,
with. Okay, so
thanks,
I
thanks.
think the goodness needs to spread. Unless and until the goodness is spread, we cannot leave behind a good future children's
Yeah.
community, isn't it? So we need to
Thank you
have
so
people
much.
who are
Sure,
having
sure.
that goodness within them. I think that is
right.
very important. And
Oh,
thank you for
I'm sorry.
arranging
You,
this.
please, your name, please.
I am Binita Sarkar. I was with the ICSC board for 20
Oh,
years. Now I have started my own organization called the Center of Excellence Kingmakers of the Future. And it is meant
oh,
for teachers and for the teachers, for the benefit of teachers. And I have taken this as a and just to be a crusader for all the teachers who were technologically challenged, and make them, a little more comfortable. And because of this, in 3 months, I have won 10 awards.
Okay.
So I
Wonderful.
would love to
We
spread.
really
I would
appreciate
love to
we
spread
really
this.
appreciate Ms. Sarkar. We really appreciate Ms. Sarkar, but we have a, I would say, a
Time.
limitation
I
of
understand.
time,
I understand.
right?
I understand.
So we would invite Tapti ma'am for a separate session for teachers. You know, I'll coordinate with Tapti ma'am and we'll come back to you all. Right. So thank you, Tapti ma'am, and we really appreciate your invitation, and we'll certainly try to to visit and obviously learn from you. Thank you, Tapti ma'am. Now I would request Bhavna Malik ji. Uh, Ma'am, a lot of educators like you, they have accepted and say that the kids, the students who go to school, they are not the who they don't go to school to get molded. They have huge potential that needs to be unfolded. For the first time, as Sakti ma'am maintained, that government has formally recognized, though we all know that good schools are already implementing these things in their respective domains. So we would like you have also led a teachers training institute. You have also worked there in the capacity of principal. So we would like to learn from your experience, Bhavna ji. What's your perspective on this, Bhavna ji?
Uh, I am sure that I'm audible enough. Um,
Yes,
yes, I would
yes, ma'am.
like to take up the words of Tapti ma'am, as she said that NEP is taking us to the dream, Sapno Ka Bharat, where the Salamban is important thing. And as Madam Rajni said, that it is not just that NEP 2020, but the most important thing now is the challenge. The biggest challenge before us is the implementation of NEP 2020. I think, am I audible enough? Because there are the voices coming.
Yes, you are audible, ma'am. I would
Okay.
request all the participants if you can keep yourself on mute. I
Okay.
would it would be fine now, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So the topic what you have given me is that early childhood care, the national challenge with the global perspective. Before we reach to the global perspective or the national challenge, it is important to understand the NEP 2020. And, the first important thing is that the NEP 2020 has modified the existing system of 10 plus 2 structure in the school curriculum to 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 structure, which is covering the age group of 3 to 14 years now. So instead of the current 10 plus 2 structure, which begins at age 6, that is when the child is in the class 1, and we are left with only 2 years, 2 beautiful years, as so now the NEP want to include the nursery KGs and the Anganwadis also. And if I'm not wrong, the policy has a strong belief that the strong base of early childhood care and education from early age of 3 is important, because it is aiming at promoting better all over learning, as ma'am also said, the learning development and all over well-being of a child. So but before we talk about the early education, I would like to tell the everybody knows the concept, but I just want to put a little light on this, the concept of right to education, that is RTE. And it guarantees the provision of a compulsory education to all the children who are in the age group of 6 to 14 years. But it will be fail if we are not including the children as early as possible, that is 3 years. And the RTE feels that it is a fundamental right of each and every child, that even if the child is in a remote area or belongs to any kind of the status, any community, any part, किसी भी गांव किसी भी दरीचे से. So the RTI Act came into the existence due to the efforts made by various civil societies, organization members, experts, and even though it has come into the light, but it has not been taken care. But now I feel when we include the Angarwadis and the nursery preschools, then it will be taken care by beautifully. The NEP have identified that 85% of a child's brain develops by the age of 6, and it also emphasizes on providing a critical importance to the appropriate care and the stimulation of the brain activities in child's early year. And it is very important because if the brain start working, then only we can have just not taking care of academic, through the other sectors also the child can bring us the new things. So the child's early years are very important for the healthy brain development and growth. What I have understood is that it states that it is therefore the utmost important that every child should have the access to the quality early childhood care and education, ECCE. The what From my side I have understood as the overall aim of the early childhood care education will be attained optimal outcome in the domains of physical motor development, cognitive development, socio-economic and ethical development, which is very important. And a very important thing which has been added is the cultural and development artistic development and the development of communication. And we can develop a child's communication habits with confidence if we are taking care a child in his or her own mother tongue, his early language, his literacy, his numeracy. So, what I have thought, the three important, if we see, put them all in a triangle, we see this. It is going to affect the three most important people. That is the educators or the school promoters or principals or the teacher. Second is the parents, and third is the child. Now, what NEP wants? The NEP wants now to make, although we all are doing this, but if I'm not wrong, there are many areas where in Anganwadis or in pre-education, we are not looking after children like that. So for children, it is important that the learning should be enjoyable, and children should have a different kind of activities indoors and outdoors. He should have been given the chance to have the visual art. His training should consist of dramas, puppetry, music, movement, and whatever is available over and uh, before his eyes. I was just reading a beautiful quote that for the children is just a full time occupation. It is called play. And if we want to occupy it, if we are able to occupy them properly, we will be able to develop the 90% of his critical brain. And this happens only and only the first 6 years. And what second important thing I feel the NEP want to what NEP says, that the child should have the regular events. ये नहीं कि आज दिवाली है तो we are giving the activities to the child. No, regular events throughout the year, dedicatedly specific hours every day should be planned to engage him in various kind of activities like reading, writing, speaking, counting. What Last year I just tried to see a few of the children in we have a few juggis nearby, and I have seen that even though we are giving them the chance to come to the good schools also, but because they are not supported by the parents at home, they are not developing as we want. Okay, we are giving them the learning of alphabet, sounds, words, colors, shapes, numbers, everything. But the parents have to, which is the second important target, the parents have to collaborate with the school. Their peer also have to, and we have to make a certain kind of modules for those people also. Because what, when we are talking about the parent, we have to focus for them the focus on overall development of a children, that is their physical, motor skill, emotional, cognitive, all kind of skill. But um, still you can say that today's parent has to be, we have to give the parents a set of activity where we can take them, we can take help of them, so that we can give a better early age education. I think somebody was just showing me the clock that I already have taken 8 minutes, although I have not even touched the topic which you have given. And if I see that the teacher's role, we really have to make our ECC stronger. We really have to work on their curriculum. We, as Tapti ma'am also said, we really have to make now a course. We have to design so that we can give them a school based module in such a way that they should able to teach properly, as NEP says that to include the mother tongue, to include the people around a child. So that means if we want to connect the grassroots people with us, then the training has to be looked after. So certain kind of the points have to be given at that level only, because what I feel that there is lack of adequate teaching learning resources, and it will affect the implementation of ECEC. And to make it sustainable learning environment, we, if we give that same thing to the children, as to the teachers, we will be able to improve the academic performance at a very early age. And as you say that it is the kind of preparing the soil, mitti say up, you can, before they become the wet cement, we can modify, and we can have the better person in I mean better people. With these words, I hand over the mic to you, sir, for the further proceedings.
Right. Thank you, Bhavna ma'am. And you, in fact, suggested practical ways and the challenges, with this early child care. Though there have been reports and regular reports, which suggested that about the high and good returns if we invest, in this ECC programs. But very rarely our government and policy makers paid their attention to that. But thank you, Bhavna ji, for sharing your thoughts and suggestions. And I would, before I invite Raji ma'am, I would like to quote here Maria Montessori. The goal of early childhood education should be to activate the child's own natural desire to learn. We always knew that, but what actually stopped us from recognizing formally and accepting this at a government part, right? So I would request Razi ma'am, you have also chosen the same topic, and you also working with the NK Bagrodia Global School as a manager. You have decades of experience. So what are your perspective, ma'am?
Thank you so much, Rajul. See, I would like to say here that I really thank God and thank the government for taking ECC so seriously now. We have been fighting it out for the last 10 years. When I joined this school, NK Bagrodia Public School, before that I was a PGT biology. I had no idea about how to handle nursery. So when I joined the school, I first of all studied what all things we should be doing so that our kind of education which we give to the young children who are entering at the nascent stage should be something very scientific, because I'm a science person. So I wanted to develop something which is very scientific and tailor made. So we developed something so that the children are not taxed, the children are not under stress. The first few years were very challenging. Before I start talking about NEP, I would like to share my experience with your permission, Mr. Rajul, that, we started, when we started this nursery education, and we saw that we were insisting that we will not go for any writing at the age of 3 plus, rather 4 years. So there were a lot of challenges, and parents were again and again saying, why no writing in nursery? So we had to train the teachers. We had to take a lot of orientation with parents to make them understand that the fine motor skills are not developed, the fine motor muscles are not developed. Therefore, the writing skill comes much later. So we had to take orientation of parents to make them understand what is the first skill the child learns. The child learns the listening skill first, as the child starts listening even in the mother's womb. Then comes the recognition, then comes the reading, and the last skill is the writing skill. So we, in case we start making the children write in class nursery, that is 3 plus and 4 years, we are forcing the children to do something which they are not happy about it. So we had to redo the curriculum, we had to start something, and we had to follow that and make people convince them that this is what is right for them. And you won't believe, right now I get so many, all the parents appreciate that the children of nursery are much knowledgeable than any other school children. The reason is we are following the various domains what is specified in the NEP. The various developments, the language, the cognitive, the physical, the social development, the artistic development, all are covered in our curriculum. We had to train our children, train our teachers, so that they know what exactly the day's schedule should be. So NEP exactly follows this. NEP says that early childhood and care education is the most important education for a child. When the child that starts education, the first 5 years is going to be the most important. Why? Because it is the where the foundation is nourished. This is where the roots are to be nurtured. So this education requires a lot of scientific methodology, and the teachers have to be trained accordingly. So a lot of inputs have been given by us to the NCRT and the CBSC for making this NEP, and a lot of papers have been shared with them, so that they have implemented a lot of things. As my previous speakers have been telling, that 85% of the brain development occurs before 6 years. Now in the NEP, the first 5 years, that is, the child starts entering the Anganwadis and all have come in the main domain now. So the 3 years is the first year, and then comes the 4, 5, and then only the child enters the class 1. So that here the age group will be little higher, as now in Delhi it is 3 plus in nursery, 4 plus in KG, and then 5 plus in class 1. Now what will happen? When they reach class 1, it will be 6 plus. So the child has already done an informal learning through playway method, through play, so that the child is being taught in the vernacular through the mother tongue, and the child is able to develop the communication skills and the confidence level, because this is what is taken up from other countries too. Because this part is taken from the Finland system, where the Finland also follows this kind of system, where the vernacular languages through which only the children have to be taught, then only they will be confident. What we do is we start forcing them a foreign language called English, and the children are slightly they find it difficult to cope up with English. They are more comfortable in their own mother tongue. So they should be taught first in the language what they's known. But then here there is a big challenge in various states, and maybe in Delhi itself, because Delhi is a cosmopolitan city, there may be different languages. The child may come from some South India, maybe Tamil Nadu or Kerala or Andhra Pradesh. The child may not be comfortable in Hindi, because here we talk about Hindi as the mother tongue, but they may come from South India. Then what do we do? So this is a challenge which the teachers may have to face, because we cannot insist that they have to learn Hindi only first. So this, we have to think about it, and we have to discuss with the concerned authorities that how are we going to face this problem. So 3 years before the children enter class 1, the various domains have to be developed in a proper manner, so that the children learn the basics properly through the proper scientific methodologies, and the curriculum development has to be tailor made for the children so that they are comfortable at various levels. The cognitive development is also very important, where the brain development, the skills required for that has to be developed. And all this requires a lot of training of teachers. And I'm sure when we start implementing NEP, we may have to train the teachers in a better manner. And I appreciate Tapti ma'am, who told us about how she developed her school long time back. Here, I also agree with her. I also learned through a lot of difficulties to understand what is ECC. When I joined this institution way back in 1998 as a principal, and this particular institution in 2001, nobody knew what is ECC. It is just on a paper. Nobody understood what is the right method of ECC. So later on, they started developing the ECE, then ECC. Then they started understanding this is very much required. And good schools started implementing proper ECC methodologies. But still, I feel that there are some schools where children are asked to write down first thing when they enter the school. That is, they start with A, B, C, D, or slanting lines and sleeping lines and all. But written skill should always be at the end, not before teaching the other skills. So over to Rajul. I hope I have not taken much time, and I may come back if I have any questions to answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Raji ma'am, for sharing your experience and wisdom. Certainly, as you said, that the first 3 years are, absolutely important to develop many skill, in that particular kid. Certainly, we'll come back to you. We have received many questions, ma'am. Now, I would request Nidhi ji. Nidhi ji, you represent the higher education part of, this education world. uh, a school's main task is to develop a kid so that he can be able to communicate with the outside world. And first outside world, for that student is the higher education institutions. You know, you have worked with corporates, you have worked with many higher education institutions. So, what are the main challenges you find when a student who come from a school? So, where actually he lacks, and what are your expectations from schools, and how do you see this NEP, Nidhi ji?
Thank you so much, sir, for inviting me. Give me 1 minute to share my screen. Is my presentation is visible to you, sir?
Yes, it is visible, ma'am.
All right. So, first of all, thank you so much. I think it is the right initiative which is taken by our union cabinet after 34 years, because we aim to reorient our education system toward
Your,
meeting
your,
the needs.
your screen has got stopped, ma'am. So
Sorry.
if you can reshare, your screen has got stopped. It's not visible now. If you can
Okay,
reshare
just
your screen, yeah.
okay. Is it visible now?
Yeah, it is visible, ma'am.
All right, fine, thank you. So okay, so for higher education, I mean this national education policy play a very important role because right now the more important focus is on the critical thinking part. So it's not like we have to just focus on the what learning or memorized part. We have to think about in some broader sense so that if student have some ideas, so the thing is that they should connect each other, each ideas, and they will reach to some conclusion part. So yes, in this, like students can resume degree courses after dropping out without starting afresh. So in higher education, this is the great opportunity for the student. Like if I am from the computer science background and I want to learn something about mechanical engineering, I want to learn something about biomedical. So this education policy has opened up a perspective we can see in a different dimensions also. So it's up to us, like in at higher education now there is a choice based credit system, so in which students can offer different courses according to their own interest. And if we do our work according to interest, according to our skill, so it means we can do a lot of wonder. We can do our work with 100% efficiency. So now the main focus of NEP in terms of higher education is like we want to attract the foreign universities in our India also. Because what happened when I see the result of when I saw the result of IIT mains, what I have observed, toppers from IITs, those who have cleared, those who have ranked first, second, third, they are not interested to take admission in IIT, but they are interested to go abroad. So in this pictures, you can see the ranking of our IITs and the ranking of different university. It means we have to do some change in our policy. And yes, this is the right initiative which is taken by our government after a long, gap of different years. So here we can see MIT is there, Stanford is there, and California Institute of Technology is there. So why are so many students want to go abroad? Because of good infrastructure is there, good technology is there, and that kind of system we have also required in our India also. And that's what NEP pay a more attention on this, so that we can invite foreign universities in our India and we can stop our creamy layer to go outside. Because if we do more collaboration, it means we can do more focus on the research work. Although in higher education, research work play a very important role, how many patents we are generating. So if we pay more attention on the research work, innovation part, so definitely we need such kind of national education policy. So now how, because the thing is that how NEP industry 4.0 is connected, because when student come from the school levels to the university level, there is something different perspective, because they want to become something in their life. So they have something in their mind that yes, they want to go in the engineering line, they want to go to the management line, architecture line. So for this, first we have to think NEP in terms of industry 4.0, as our prime minister has also given a mantra to our youth that we have to focus on the skills, reskills, and upskills ourselves, because we have to resonate with what is going in the industry side. Okay, so because different companies, industries, business, insurance sector, banking sector, education sector, now right now they are working on the technologies. So lots of technologies are on the boom, like artificial intelligence, 3D printing, robotics, automation, nanotechnology, quantum computing. So it means we have to create that kind of skills for our young engineers, entrepreneurs, so that they can give the jobs to other also. Because right now we have to pay more focus on the entrepreneurship part, so that they can create more opportunities for other also. So that's why some kind of skill set and mindset is required for this digital India. And industry 4.0, for industry 4.0 we have to pay more focus on the education 4.0, because education 4.0 is the response for industry 4.0. If we have to create such kind of mindset, it means first we have to develop the mindset for the students, only then they will be ready for the industry perspective. So exactly what is education 4.0? Education 4.0 is the response to the need of IR 4.0. It means like human and technologies come together and we can see something in different perspective. We will come with new ideas, new innovations, new research work. So in education 4.0, like there is students and the teachers, they just come together, and the teachers will work as the encouragers, work as a motivators for the student to do something extraordinary in their life, to think in some different perspective in their life. And for education 4.0, yes, student can learn, get education from anywhere. Right now we are, due to the COVID-19, we also see that that all are on the online platform, so technologies are on the boom. We are using Zoom, we are using Google Meet, and we are focusing on the personalized learning, some smart content. So this is what we are getting, because we are not just restricted ourselves only to the offline learning now, because knowledge has no boundary. So we are getting knowledge. So that is the perspective for education 4.0. Just think beyond the boundaries. And what kind of technology we can involve in education. So like our university is also adopting so many technologies, and yes, one of the platform which we have adopted is MOOC platform. I'll discuss it later on this other slide. But where technology play important role, it's in teaching part, learning assessment part, education planning. Yes, because we take assignments, we take tests also, so we have to just assess our student. Of course we need technology. And for the Digital India campaign, right now our prime minister has also, introduced a concept of Smart India hackathon, where students are participating and they are just developing some solutions for the government also. So there are different areas, but in education technology play an important role, because it is like a fun together. It's like a the student and teacher, they work together in a very creative way. So yes, it is the need of 21st century, and how we are adopting, because we have adopted MOOCs also, we have adopted virtual labs also. Now we are doing everything, it's on the online platform, so getting assessments and examination, everything online. But what kind of technology actually required? So most important technology that all are familiar with, it's artificial intelligence. So how we can use artificial intelligence in our education system, because in foreign university, because I'm thinking about a very broader sense, like if what happened in foreign university, so can we adopt something like we can invite foreign students in our university, in our India, so that they can study together, they can involve in the research work. So we also have to adopt such kind of technology like artificial intelligence. We have to teach our students with the help of chatbots, because right, robot professors are also in foreign university. They teach the student, they can evaluate the student, a student asks the question, they can respond to the student. So in the same way, can we adopt, are we capable enough to adopt such kind of technology? Yes, because in lots of university right now, university are adopting the technologies, and they are teaching the students with the help of artificial intelligence. So the chatbots are there are different kinds of applications are there. And it's not artificial intelligence is used in education, but in healthcare sector, in automobile sector, lots of sectors are there. And now virtual and augmented reality, so it's really required. We can make our education system more creative. So if augmented reality and virtual reality is there, it will make our education system more powerful, like you can see in the pics also. So it is very creative and fun way, because a picture can say thousands of words. If we speak, I mean, it will not much clear, but if we'll see picture, it will create a lot of impact. So we have to make our education system like this. We can make our education system more impactful. So this is the 21st century smart classroom. I think this is the need of our, and we have to make our smart classroom like this, so that we can create such a wonderful environment that student will not only focus on the study, but they can just think about some ideas, some innovation, some research work. So first we have to give such kind of platform to our students, such kind of classrooms, such kind of STEM. We have to give digital learning, personalized learning, we have to give our students. Only then they can think some in a very broader sense. So now another technologies, because I'm from technology background, so I think I have to involve this thing, because it is really required. We have to involve such kind of things in education system. It's IoT, it's cloud-based learning, and yes, now it's and schools and university, they are totally cloud-based system, because everything we are getting, all the assessment tests, assignments, we are all getting everything online. We are using Google Classroom, we are using learning management system. So yes, technology play a very important, and in fact, it is making our task so much easier also. And now I'm coming to the my university, like how SRM University has adopted Education 4.0, how SRM University is working on the national education policy. So my university is based on the concept of learn, leap, and lead. And yes, because it is one of the reputed university where students from 24 states has come. So it means we have to think about in not only in the education concept or aspect, but we have to think about very broader sense. Like they are coming from different backgrounds. So we have to collaborate these students, and we have need such a platform so that we just inspire our students to do something more in their life. So yes, this is my university is one of the university which has adopted NASCOM future skill. This NASCOM future skill is a concept which is given by our government, and in this students can work on different technologies, because this platform consists cloud computing, IoT technology, blockchain technology. And it is not just we are teaching, but students have adopted this platform and they are learning so many things. And important thing is the choice-based credit system, because in the national education policy, it is mentioned that student can offer the any courses whatever he or she want to learn any subject. So we are providing that kind of facility to our student. Everything is goes to personalized learning. Whatever they want to learn, they can ask from us. And in fact, for the syllabus and curriculum, we can always ask from student, because every year there is change in the technology. So in this perspective, we have to make our curriculum like this. It should be like curriculum 4.0. So for curriculum 4.0, we need a faculty 4.0. So yes, for faculty 4.0, we just need that kind of faculty who really think in a very broader sense. They can think like how to make our students prepared for the critical thinking, how they can use their own logic and come to conclusion. It is not like conclusion should be yes or no, right or wrong. It is just the approach they are using. And that's what happened in the foreign university culture, because they always think like the approach person is using to solve the problem, that is important. So that's what we have to adopt, this kind of thing. So we have adopt flipped classroom activity in our classroom. We have adopt Bloom's taxonomy, because we always prepare our question paper in terms of Bloom taxonomy. So Bloom taxonomy in this, like you can see, remembering, understanding, apply. These are just lower level thinking part, but we have to pay in university level, we have to pay more focus on analyzing, evaluating, creating part. Because when you learn in your first semester, second semester, it's all about remembering and understanding. But at the final year, they have to work on the project level part. But for project level part, it's important first they should understand the problem, they should use their logic, they will involve more in the practical part. So for practical part, students always go for the internship, for the workshop, for the seminar. Why this is important? So that they will get familiar with what is happening in the industry, so that they will prepare their projects, they will go for the training part. So creating, evaluating, analyzing, it's play important role. And that's what our university is playing more important, more focus on this Bloom's taxonomy. And yes, in this perspective, our university has done collaboration with industry leader. So why there's need to do collaboration with industry? Because if you want to make our India super knowledge hub, it means we have to make our education industry 4.0 perspective. In this perspective, we have to make our education. So we have done collaboration with NASCOM, Future Skill, IBM, Zapier, Reliance, TCS. Why? Because if we do collaboration, it means we are just bridging the gap. This kind of gap is just reducing, because the trainers from the different companies, they come to teach, and we have set up different labs from the IBM, Zapier. So all the software part in which students are right now working, they're all the softwares from the different companies. It means the employees of these companies are working in their company, but right now students are just getting that kind of perspective that yes, they are working on their own tools. So what kind of courses we are providing? Because for higher education, if we want to make our students for industry perspective, so we need such kind of courses. And that's why we have some specialization, very good specialization in artificial intelligence, data science, and moreover cloud computing, IoT and blockchain, big data, and TCS specialization in computer and business system, and Xavier specialization in DevOps, because these are all the technology in which right now a lot of work is going on, a lot of research work is going on, innovation is going on. So we have to create that kind of mindset. If mindset is developed, obviously student will reach to the level where he can think about some research innovation. So in this perspective, our university has joined hands with Siemens company. That is, so we have established Center of Excellence, and that Center of Excellence is basically for, for establishing different labs in our university. Because in our university we don't have only the computer science, we have different departments: management department, architecture department, biomedical department. So we have just established the lab so that student will get familiar what is exactly happening in the industries, what are the practical things which is going into the different business sites. So product design lab, process digitization lab, biotech lab, CNC controller lab. So I think this is a great achievement for our university, that we are just in that path. We just invite more and more students to just see the practical aspects of the things which is going in industry. And we have set up C4D lab. This is the very important and research lab in our university, because it is pay more focus in developing new drug vaccines for effective health management. And right now AI play a very important role in artificial intelligence playing a important role in healthcare sector. So we need such kind of research lab, and we need such kind of environment. So for this, we have set up some this kind of lab in our campus. And another important aspect is MOOC, that is massive open online course. What exactly it means? Because we are not just restricting ourselves to just for the theoretical knowledge. Okay, the important thing is that student will learn more. So these massive open online courses like Coursera, edX, we have done tie up with with these institutions, with this online platform, so that our students learn from different foreign universities. In fact, myself, I have done 7 or 8 online courses from these foreign universities. So I think in this, basically different professors of different universities will teach the students. So if we will get that knowledge, that will be really beneficial for our students. And yes, we have also done collaboration with SWEM and NPTEL platform. This NPTEL platform, it consists lots of courses from IITs and IIC. So student can do any course, whether it's from Coursera, edX. If you want to do any courses from foreign university, so he or she can do it. Because the main thing is you just upgrade yourself, you just upskills yourself. Because ultimate, at the end, one day you will think you want to become entrepreneur, you want to become scientist, you want to become a leader in your life. So I think that kind of mindset is required, that kind of skills we it is required to give it to our students. So yes, IITs, ISC, UGC, NPTEL, AICT, all courses are available, and it's free of course, student can join it. So thank you so much from my side. So I think from my side, I just want to say one thing. When student come from the school to university level, so many things have changed, because the level, the frequency level has changed, because different mindsets have come together. When they have gone for the internship, gone for the workshop, gone for the training part, so their thinking level has definitely changed, because they are going to ready for the future perspective, for their own career
Right,
point of view.
right,
So
right.
thank you so much.
Certainly, Nidhi, thank you for sharing your thoughts and the kind of good initiative which SRM has taken. So, thank you, Nidhi. I would request Mr. Levi Maheo. This is for the first time when the art side of education and vocational education has got emphasis from the government. Levi, I would request if you can share your
Yes,
perspective and how do you see this NEP?
sure, sure. So allow me to share my screen and then a sec. Okay. Are you able to see my screen? No, right?
Not yet.
Okay, it's good in loading. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak about the ambitions of forthcoming National Education Policy 2020. And I just want to start with one thing, a code. It is a language which not only touches the mind, but also the emotion of every individual. And I want you all to guess what is that. It's none other than,
I have one request, Levi. Before you start, I would
yes,
request if you can, share your perspective and thoughts within the time limit, so that we have
yes,
time for the questions. Yeah, please
yes,
go
yes,
ahead. Please go ahead.
sure. Thank you, thank you. So music is the only universal language which need to translate. So, and we all know that. So that I will be speaking on a perspective of arts and what is the purpose of education for any country. And the true purpose of education is to have economic growth that is truly across all countries. And I'm sure that everyone is aware of that. So economic growth is something very important for every country. And journey so far, and even our ma'am has briefed us, journey so far 1968 to 2016, the NAP, how it the education system has come a long way since first education policy released in 1968, and each edition has helped shape our country, and we see that each edition has positively impacted the system, and each has their highlight. Like in 1986, NAP focused on adult education and empowering minorities. Then in 1992, NAP added a common entrance examination, and in 2005, NAP was based on common minimum program. And in 2016, NAP addressed gender discriminations and common curriculum for science, math, and English. And finally, these the new NFP as well as are aware of, and I won't spend much time